What is going on out there, YouTube? I'm here with another movie review as I am just getting home from the screening of Disney's Aladdin. And man, was this a good movie. Like, I have to be honest, I went in a little reserved, not sure how I thought it was going to be, but um, and I tried to stay away from as much content like trailers and all that other good stuff that was out there. But I just got out and man, because Aladdin's been one of my favorites since it was a child, and God, did I find myself being such a big kid in this movie, having so much fun, singing along with the songs and just reminiscing the animated film from back in the day. But wow, I really like this movie, like genuinely as like just a fan of the story itself, but actually seeing it being redone, live action, obviously, and and I guess like I'm not gonna say modernizing it, but like making it cool to like to this day and age. So I really appreciate it. So the director, Guy Ritchie, who's done other things that I've like, such as The Man from Uncle, Sherlock Holmes, some of that, both Sherlock Holmes at that on that note. And so with that, I said, okay, cool. I'm guessing I'm getting the feel of the tone of humor that we were going to get from it. So that landed well. I laughed a lot on a lot of the stuff. But man, I gotta go down the list of a lot of things that stood out to me. First of all, the first thing I know that everyone wanted to ask is, or probably going to ask, is that when you're touching nostalgia from back in the day, does it do it justice? And I think a good comparison to this is how you ever know those people that always say, "Well, the book was better," type of thing. And then obviously people who like who likes actually watching the theatrical version of it. You know, it's a friendly war, but people have their preferences. What I say with this movie is that this movie did reference the original animated movie to its justice and did add its spin to it, as other live action adaptations has been, such as Maleficent, Cinderella, and even Beauty and the Beast. To the extent the Beauty and the Beast was kind of like dead on, but to an extent. But yeah, it did do good. And then the next biggest thing is that one of the greatest to ever do it, Robin Williams, who played Genie back in the day, or voiced Genie back in the day. How would Will Smith take that role? And what Will Smith did was he made that role his role. So Robin Williams' legacy and his character in the Genie was a different feel, as Will Smith's was different. And I appreciate both, to the point that I want to go back and watch the animated version again, just because that was funny back in the day, and it landed really well then. And I think Will Smith's jokes landed really well for this day and age. But I deeply appreciated both of them. So for a fact, Will Smith, who a lot of people trashed upon seeing the first trailer about, you know, his look and whatever it may be. Look, Disney, you know Disney's gonna come hard with their animation, and seeing him as the Blue Genie, oh, the FSX, the VFX, amazing. Like the visuals, just blasphemely amazing, as you expect when it comes down to Disney films. Nothing less than spectacular with the effects. A lot of the aerial shots of the city and the desert, really good. Now let's talk about Aladdin's character. Now, Mena Massoud. I'm not familiar with him. I do remember seeing him from the Jack Ryan TV series, which was on Amazon Prime. I became a fan of that from San Diego Comic Con last year. I thought he portrayed Aladdin to its T, as the like kind of like clever, but kind of uncertain. Like I really felt connected to the Aladdin as I was growing up, as I did with his portrayal of it now. So very on point. And then Jasmine, who was played by Naomi Scott. Now, she's somebody that, again, not too familiar with, as she was in the Power Rangers live action movie that just happened that I wasn't a big fan of. She was the Pink Ranger in that. I thought her performance was okay. I did feel the chemistry between her and Aladdin's character really good and strong. But as far as her portrayal of Jasmine, and maybe just because I'm a guy, I didn't really resonate with it really strong. But I will say that her vocal performances was on point. She had two original songs in this movie, and I know because I knew all the other songs. I was looking around like, wait, I don't know this song, but two original songs in this, and I thought her vocal performance was stellar, 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 stellar. Really, really, really good. And I'm curious to hear how the when the soundtracks come out, to hear the rest of the songs that she may have done or had influence on. But yeah, so acting performance okay, but for vocal performance, really, really good. Now the guy that played Jafar, Marwan Kenzari. I mean, I know I'm butchering that wrong. I wasn't a fan of the Jafar character here. And again, it could be because of time. I felt like Jafar back in the day looked more menacing, was like was more like a visual threat as much as he was a threat as being the bad guy in the movie. I didn't look at him and feel the bad guy in him. The one thing I always said about Jafar back in the day was that Jafar had this long he had this long mustache that he would continuously play with, and that wasn't in the movie. And I really complained about it, like mentally. I just was just not a fan that they didn't give him what I thought was the trademark. Besides his staff being the snake, he didn't have the long playful mustache that he would typically play with. But again, I didn't feel like he was such a big bad guy. He didn't look it, and unlike he did as in the animated version. But as far as his performance so far, I think it was on point with just all Disney live action villains. Just, you know, man, it did their job. Like, so not a big fan of that. But whatever. But nonetheless, let me looking over some of my notes here. One thing, besides me knowing all the songs, one thing I really, really liked about this is the scene where Aladdin does the first time he runs into Genie, and Genie's patented song is "A Friend Like Me." I don't know how many people picked up on this that watched in there, but being a Washington D.C. native, that "A Friend Like Me" had so much Chuck Brown, Chuck Baby Don't Give a What influence on the beat. Oh, I was rocking in there. I was like, hey, like this is home right here. I don't know who playing that was. I'll be curious to find out more. But oh, the "Friend Like Me," besides this, the visual performance and everything that was going on, oh, it had that old DC go-go feel to it with Chuck Brown. So I big props to that. And speaking of music, the score all around was really, really, really good. Cannot wait to download that. When it comes down to Jafar and the Sultan, I felt like their animated versions of them were toned down, where Jafar felt more menacing back in the day, and Sultan felt more goofy back in the day, where you felt like where in this movie the Sultan was more casual, more as a Sultan, as somebody in charge, obviously influenced by Jafar's bad habits with the hypnosis with the staff, but I didn't feel like they were a complete adaptation from who they were as the anime, and that's fine. That is fine. I'm just saying that it was different. That was something noticeably different. And again, looking over my notes, like Will Smith did a really good job. Really made the movie fun. I loved the humor. And Robin Williams' legacy and character, as many people like to allude to at times, it's definitely safe, and it definitely gives you a good feel to want to go back and still appreciate what Robin Williams did years ago in 1992 to being now in 2019 that Will Smith was able to make that character his own and make it absolutely fun. Again, I'm looking over my notes. I really appreciate the score. The visuals by Disney, always on point. There was a few Easter eggs in the movies that you'll see. Little homage to Disney properties. Maybe the Magic Kingdom you may see a couple of times. You even see like a old visual of the animated version of Aladdin, the characters. So that was cool. Again, the two original songs, which I didn't know the words to. Want to go back and review them. They were okay. Again, she really had the actress who played Jasmine, Naomi Scott, very strong vocal performances. So that was totally cool. But other than that, no after the trailers. As most Disney adaptations besides Beauty and the Beast, this one did have its own little plot twist. as you immediately pick up on in the beginning of the movie. So I'm cool with that. That's why I like to go watch these live action movies, because I'm hoping that they do a little bit something different. I would have been fine if it was perfectly the same, but there was significant twist in this plot. One thing I must say was that Jasmine had a handsmaid, which she was really the only female character in the original one. So for them to actually have another female character, it was great. I thought her character was funny, and pleasant, and I enjoyed that. But other than that, man, like, I thought this movie was a solid like 4.5 out of 5. And as far as other Disney live adaptations, I will definitely put this up there within the top 3. I was a really big fan of Maleficent, which I thought the acting performances down the board was better. And I thought Beauty and the Beast was just a better movie solidly all the way around, which I think that may be my favorite when it comes down to live action Disney movies. But Aladdin comes out this Friday. Hopefully you guys get a chance to go out there and watch it. And thank you for watching my review. Please hit the subscribe button. I got a lot of other things coming up, so stay tuned, man. Subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell, and at that point you'll always get updates when new material, exclusive press content, and all other sorts of things are dropping. So thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoy Aladdin when it comes out in theaters.
Big old bell.